Hi everyone, this is SarahDigm video number 25. I know this is kind of corny, but I am a corny person, but I'm 24, almost 25 come November, and since this is video 25, I figured this would be a good time to tell you a little bit about me. I didn't plan any script or anything. Sometimes I kind of give myself a general, not a script, but just some notes, so I know what to talk about without blabbing on too much, and that still doesn't prevent me from blabbing and taking on tangents, but I basically didn't even do that much for this one. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me if you don't know me, and even if you do know me personally, there's probably things that you don't know or have forgotten about. So it's sometimes nice to get to know people that you watch on YouTube, and I honestly don't know everyone who clicks on my videos. Even if it's someone I know personally, I don't know, oh yes, I know they're watching. I just don't know who is watching. I don't get a lot of comments or anything, so all I see are the numbers of views. So regardless of who is watching, I figured it'd be useful to tell you a little bit about me. And believe it or not, I mean, I've been on Facebook since probably, honestly I can't remember the year, but it's been probably at least 10 years by now. Yeah, probably at least 10 years. I might be completely wrong without looking at my account date. I just don't know how long, but it's been a while, and I take very high pride in putting a lot of details on my Facebook About section, probably more than I should, given how easy it is for people to hack, and I don't want any strangers to see too much about me. But anyway, that's who I am. I don't like to be general. I don't like to be trendy, and there's a lot about me that I think people would say about me, and those would be a couple of them. But what I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to share some things that are on my Facebook page. Not everything, because honestly that's a lot of information, but just some of the things that you may or may not know and may find interesting. I don't plan to go on 25 minutes or anything, so hopefully this is short. I always say that and then I go longer than I want, but I will just be as concise as I can. So a few things. I have a few Facebook groups, and I will link them also, at least the ones that I actively use, but I created a page, a group called Strength in Prayer, and I will link that below. I'm on it every day, posting. I make these images based on scriptures I read that day, or some biblical scholar, something they said. So, if you at least want to be encouraged, you can check out my albums on that page every day, and every week I have live prayer for anyone who needs it. And if no one joins at that moment, or I don't have a request given to me, I will just pray what's on my heart. So if you keep tabs, you can join me. It's actually 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Friday, but I'm probably going to push it to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Fridays. Another thing you may know or may not know is I've been actively authoring some books. I have some children's books, only one that's something I want to publish. Others are things for my blogs or just for Teachers Pay Teachers or something, and I will probably link those links as well. Just some information about all my books I will link. And I wrote a book called Victory in Marriage. Plenty of people have read it. Even 2 Christian vloggers from the UK read it and submitted a blurb that they want to have published with the book, and that's very encouraging, and I'm so thankful to them. I will link their channel below as well, so you can see who they are. They talk about a lot of topics I've addressed in this book called Victory in Marriage, and I'm hoping that will be published July, August, by October, I think, is reasonable. Definitely by the end of this calendar year. Let's see. Like I said, I don't have a script, so I'm just kind of scrolling through everything I've given people on my Facebook section. And if you are friends with me on Facebook, you can see everything and more that I'm talking about on this video in my About section. In the details part has the most I'll probably link some other things, maybe social media, so you can connect with me if you aren't already. So I've been married for just under 3.5 years, and we've been trying to start a family since May. I haven't done anything on social media in a very intentional way about this is my infertility journey or anything, but I do follow a lot of people on it because it's been over a year, and we're just kind of waiting on the Lord for that. That's probably the thing that's heaviest on our heart, and honestly, it doesn't hinder all of the people that are able to conceive in our life personally. People we know that are pregnant or have had a baby recently, which is a lot of people. It encourages us to see where we might be soon, and without being dishonest, I will say that there are hard days, but it's hard because I want that joy, and because I know how wonderful it is, and I know what those people are experiencing when they get that promise fulfilled in their life. So it's kind of like this strong mixture of emotions of deep longing and strong joy all at once, and it's very powerful, and I'm hoping to be able to experience that like others have. Other things about me, one of my favorite games is Apples to Apples. I love any card games that have to do with words. It doesn't even have to be cards, but anything that has to do with words, or you have to be kind of strategic in how you think. Just the things you do in big groups, and the bigger the group, the more fun it is. I could literally play Apples to Apples every day, or charades. I love just being silly, and just, those are pretty fun. Let's see what else. These are just some basic things that some people may not have known. I'm pretty good at editing things. If you check out Upwork.com, I will link it also. You can find some side jobs, side hustles, for some cash. The jobs that I've gotten have been very minimal in terms of what they pay you, but there are some that pay thousands of dollars. If you look at the right place and you're very skilled and you're hired, you can make a lot of money doing something if you're really good at not just editing documents, but big stuff. Like some people want ghostwriters, or they want things that have to do with computers. You can check that out and see for yourself if it's worthwhile. I love to sing. Everyone who knows me knows that. That is not a surprise. I'm on the worship team at my church, Central Christian. I may or may not link the website to my church if you want to check it out. I'm not trying to say you have to go to Central, but I don't know. I just like to provide you with as much things as possible that I talk about. Let's see. This about section that I wrote, I basically wrote this when I started Facebook, and I've edited it every year or half year as things change, so there's a lot of information. I have my favorite scriptures here. I have places I want to visit here. I have some of my pet peeves listed. Let me see if I can share some of my pet peeves. Maybe you can comment and tell me some of your pet peeves. That would be kind of funny to hear. When people mispronounce words or anything grammatical, I know I'm one of those people, but it does bother me. It's not even just tiny things. I can deal with maybe you didn't put an apostrophe, but when something is blatantly misspelled, or it looks like you didn't even... You can just tell sometimes when it just wasn't proofread and it could have been fixed. I don't know. I'm very picky about things like that, and I know it's annoying, but it's just who I am. I don't like hashtags that are so long, and you have to read it so slowly to figure out what it's saying. And the way I do hashtags, first of all, I said I don't like to be trendy, but I got on this hashtag train probably a year ago, and I did start using them, but I only use them if I really, really think it's an important post. And when I make hashtags, if it's more than one word, I will capitalize the first letter of each word so you can read it a little bit more easy, rather than having 100 characters of 10 words smushed into one. That bothers me. I don't know. There are some others, and you can check out my About section, but just let me know what some of your pet peeves are. I think that'd be pretty funny. Okay, now let's get to maybe some of my favorite movies or something. Let's see. I have to scroll down. Sorry, bear with me. What are we at? We're at 10 minutes already. Okay, I promise I will wrap up by 15 minutes. How about that? I will keep track of it. So you're not like, ugh, get on with it. Okay. It's taking me a minute to get down. Sorry. Music. Okay, so let me say something about music. As a singer, the hardest question you could ever ask me is your favorite song. That changes every month. It changes with my mood. It changes with life circumstances. So I can never answer that question. If I were to turn on the radio, I only intentionally put on K-Love, Air One, Family Life. I mean, it's just hard to find other songs. First of all, there's way too many commercials on every other channel, radio channel. And I'll probably link those radio stations if you're not familiar with them. But the second thing is just there's a lot that I'm just not interested in. I mean, if other songs come on and they're not like Booty in the Club music or talking about raunchy things or cussing every other word, I can respect it as a musician. But if I were to choose to listen to anything, it's either my choir CD so I could practice because I'm in a choir. I'll also link that website or some social media there. But, you know, Caleb, Family Life, and Air One, they play things that I'm okay singing along with, and I'll leave it at that. But as a musician, I can respect many types of music. I'm not stuck on one genre of music. It's not about genres or styles, but it's about the content of the music most of all. That's all I'll say about music because it's kind of like part of my whole life and it's hard to narrow it down. Some of my favorite movies have been, let's see, I haven't put every single movie I've watched in my whole life on Facebook, but I'm just trying to see some of them. I mean, I'm Not Ashamed. It's kind of like a dramatized documentary of sorts about the Columbine shooting and just the faith behind one of the girls there. That's a really great movie. And Beyond the Mask, it was on, I think, ChristianCinema.com. That was actually pretty good. It's kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean meets God's Not Dead, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a cool fiction dramatized movie, and it's set in this like early America time. I don't know. I just love the movie Beyond the Mask. I will probably give you some information there too because there's like another movie similarly titled and it's not the same movie, so I don't want it to get confused. Let me see. There's so many movies, and honestly I don't want to waste your time listing them off, but they're also on my Facebook About section. If you're not connected with me, you can ask me a specific question and I'll take more time to look for it and then message you or something about it. But just for sake of time, I won't drive you crazy if you're not interested. But some of the shows I tend to watch, which is weird because I didn't used to really watch them until I met my husband, and we weren't even dating when we started watching these, but I have been hooked on these shows. Like we watch Madam Secretary, NCIS, Criminal Minds. I used to watch Law and Order, SVU, but that one gets so intense and it kind of hits too close to home from a traumatic incident that happened to me in junior high, so I just don't watch it anymore, but it was one I used to watch. Of a different genre, I like to watch Gilmore Girls, a lot of BBC shows, things on Hallmark sometimes, things like that. There's a lot of others, but there is a list of TV shows on my Facebook. I don't read as much as I used to or as much as I'd like. I like Ted Decker. I love Shanti Feldhahn. I'll probably link some of the titles of her books or something there because she has written some of my favorites. Power of Praying Wife by Stormy O'Martian. Just, I don't like to call them self-help because self-help books are their own little category, but this is like Christian, life-enriching, biblically based books that teach me how to be a better wife. That's more than self-help. This is like selfless help. It's like how to be a better person in a biblical, godly way. It doesn't diminish my femininity. It's just, I don't know what you would call it, but I could probably share some of those titles in the description. Now, like I said, I'd love to hear some pet peeves. It's almost 15 minutes. I will link a bunch of information. If you have any questions to get to know me, Ask me a question. I'll be happy to answer just about anything. I look forward to next time. Talk to you soon.